When you hear that sound,
All right.
Hey,
Come on now. We're back. Row 26. You see I'm still repping. We're in mourning today. So, I'll let the game speak for a couple seconds here. Let it breathe for a minute. Just let the pod breathe for a minute.
nah, go off, bro. Get your vent off.
Man, I'm just like...
Talking to your mic.
I know, I'm thinking. I've been thinking about the words that I want to put together for this season. There's so many layers to this season, bro. I feel like we gave up an opportunity. That's the one thing. Just sad. Sad. Pure sadness at this point right now. I feel like we were better. I'll say this. When it comes to breaking down this season, we have to do it in different folders. We can't just look at this season as one big fucking failure or one big success, the way people like to talk, like, oh, we improved from last year, or no, we failed from last year, we lost to the same team, or no, we improved from last year, we have a new roster. It don't matter. But at the end of the day, if we're breaking it down into the folders, the Knicks had an overall successful season, I would say, and they beat Boston. Dismantled Boston, but at the end of the day, they didn't get the big job done, and that hurts. So I'll let John take it away as being possibly a new Knick fan, a new draftee, first-round pick by the Knicks.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. They fit in with the Cowboys and the Mets. They never fucking win. No, I mean, that was about the weakest fucking rant of all time. After a loss.
It's so emotional. I have nothing to say, really,
Yeah, nah, you're you're at a loss for words. You're in mourning. You're in denial, disbelief. But I don't know. I think it starts and ends with the head coach. He was grasping at straws at the end, doing things he should have done months earlier with the bench. And, he just was – and Rick Carlisle, we talked about it a little before. But, I mean, that first game, they're up, 8 with 40 seconds left, and he got his guys taking shots 5 seconds into the shot clock. Even if you're making those, you're just extending the game. You got to hold the ball till 10 seconds, then run a set, then try and score. But if not, at least you took 15 seconds off the game clock.
Even dribbling the ball.
Or
Jalen Brunson dribbling the ball, even dribbling it around and passing it.
Yeah. Or that just mean hold the ball and don't shoot it. Or
don't shoot it or pass it even.
Yeah.
Just dribble the ball, and if they foul you, they foul you.
Yeah, exactly. But to take those shots early in the shot clock, up 8 with 40 seconds left, then up 5 with 30 seconds left to do the same thing. Yeah. I mean, it really was in game one. I mean, that was as bad as it gets in terms of loss.
Sure. The worst loss in NBA history.
Yeah, that's one of the worst losses the Knicks probably ever had. It's tough to be that close to the finals, 2 games away, 2 wins away, but they improved from last year. I think the trade still holds up as a good move to get Towns. Towns had some big games, had some bad moments, but again, I think it has to do with Tibbs, with the rotations and just the way. I mean, we talked about it when the start of the second and fourth quarter, he holds out Brunson for so long, and then just the game got away from him in both those moments. I mean, playing Deuce, Shamit, and Wright all at the same time was crazy to me in an elimination game like
Towns
that.
Wasn't even in the game at that point yet, if you remember.
Yeah.
It was actually
with OG and Hart.
OG Hart, excuse me. OG and Hart, not Mitch and Hart. OG and Hart.
Yeah, maybe Mitch and Hart at one point too, but I think I remember distinctly.
Yeah, there was a point where Towns and Brunson were both off the court with the 3 of those guys on the court. There was a Hart there. Yeah,
for sure. Whether it was OG and Hart or Mitch and Hart, I'm pretty sure maybe it was both of them at the start of the fourth or the start of the second. Whatever. I don't know. I mean,
you're speaking.
Eddie said in the group chat there was no offense on the floor. DeLon Wright started shooting multiple threes, and it's like, all right, we're fighting for our lives to get to Game 7 back in the Garden, and we got DeLon Wright taking shots on back-to-back possessions. The guy hasn't even been in the fucking game for months. This
goes back to my thing about Josh, by the way, and this goes back to Tibbs' rotations. So a couple things that you just said. Josh going to the bench was the worst thing they could have done, in my opinion. You either have to take him out of the rotation or you leave him in the starting lineup. He is not capable of mustering and generating the energy that he usually has off the bench. For some reason, he's not as engaged. His turnovers go up. His stats off the bench are awful. Awful. Seriously. And his defense, awful. Everything is worse in terms of every single metric and eye test watching Josh come off the bench. It's clear as day. And on that play that DeLon Wright shot that wing three that you just referred to, John, Josh Hart has basically one of those usual layups that he would go in and get and like use his, like he kind of musters his way into the lane and goes up. He had that at that moment and decides to kick it out to DeLon Wright. And
he always does that shit where he has like the easy layup and passes
passes it out like so expectantly. Like it's just.
He has a little Ben Simmons in him. He's got a little afraid to shoot the ball. But obviously he's not like Ben Simmons in terms of personality. He works hard, plays hard.
But it's just shooting wise, you're right. The style.
Yeah, just like when he just passing up his shot selection, if you will.
Correct.
It has a little Ben Simmons to him. The Knicks. It was a fun run, to be honest. It was fun. Like, I'm glad I bet the future so I could hop on board, and it was fun to be like part of the ride. But still, it sucks. It sucks when you feel like the biggest mismatch in the series was the coaching, and I really do truly believe that.
I don't feel like our roster was worse than their roster if our roster was played correctly. And like you said, if we had used the bench throughout the season, so our rotations weren't in flux, and we weren't. It felt like he didn't.
Landry Shamet is a professional player. Like he should be getting minutes.
From three this year, John.
He should be getting minutes. Like he
should be getting 20 minutes a game all year.
Yeah, at least 10 to 15, even in the playoffs. Like he shouldn't be. All right, we're down 2-0 in the fucking conference finals. Let's put in Landry Shamet now.
Why is Mitch not ever playing the top half of the fourth quarter? I don't think he did it once the whole series where Mitch sits till like the 4-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Sometimes there were 2 games this series, John, he didn't play the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I don't know with Mitch and Towns. Like I know they can't play together always, but they should be together. Like Towns can play the 4. Like I don't know what. Right. Like you can't. Like you could play Towns at the 4 and Mitch at the 5, and now all of a sudden you have you have a big rebounding mismatch.
Yeah.
Like obviously I think they should have been doing that. Like I guess that coincides with moving Hart to the bench, which I guess you disagree with, but it's like they started with Mitch and Towns.
You have Siakam and Obi that like you talked about Carlisle.
Yeah.
It's literally like, okay, if you miss a second free throw or you turn over the ball, it's guaranteed points for them on the other end, no matter what. It's guaranteed advantage, we'll just say. Maybe not points, but advantage every fucking time. They're out running, they're leaking every time, and their bigs run. All their bigs are track stars.
Well, I mean, the game was obviously won and lost in certain areas, and that was clearly the fast break points and even off-made shots. They were getting a ton of fast break points off made shots, and it's like, I don't know what Brunson's doing. Like, the offside guard is just not getting back in transition and at least fouling, even if you don't fucking stop them.
Yeah, I saw them foul one time on one of those fast breaks. I forget who it was. Maybe it was Deuce that got back and ended up fouling him like on the arms. He held down Obi.
Yeah, at least foul, do something. And then, of course, then the other thing was the threes. That they were giving up way too many open threes, and to Indiana's credit, they were knocking them down. At one point, they were 15 of 28 from 3.
Yeah,
it's like you can't win when you're letting up that many. But they're open. It's not like they're getting
corner his all day. He's a professional.
Yeah. They were just hitting open threes. Thomas Bryant topping, like you talked about all last night. Towns sagging off. And not, they got to fight through the screen. I think they were tired too. Like I said, like Towns running these guys into the ground, into the regular season, into the playoffs.
That's trying to keep up with Siakam and keep up with Obi. These guys are in shape. Towns is a luggy guy. John, even when you just spoke to the idea of Towns, like when he scores 2 off a made basket, bro, Towns when he gets those 2-pointers and he falls into the baseline and he's on the ground, it's over. Yeah. It's a moot points right there, or we lose a point there because they get a 3 on a rotation. Either way, we were losing.
But that's what I was saying. Like even take a foul there. Somebody like
you got to do something to slow the game down. If Towns is overcommitting to the basket and he's not getting the and one or whatever's happening and he's missing.
Yeah. And at the end of the game, the pick and roll, they were just like nuts. They were like they were just basically giving up fucking Halliburton floaters from like that's a layup for him from fucking the foul line, just easy short jump shots or floaters like that's going in every time.
Yeah, every time it's his
fucking professional, all-star player, and he's just like at the free throw line like this, like I can make that at the fucking YMCA. Like fucking for cardio.
It's wide open. Like talent keeps sagging. It's like how far are you gonna sag all the way to the third row? It's like how many times are you going backwards?
And that's like I think they looked exhausted. And the Pacers, to credit to the Pacers, like you said, they're in shape. They got a deep rotation, and like they have like fucking. All these guys are like the same player. Like Carlisle set it up like they all can switch. They all can play multiple positions. Like
all bang threes.
Siakam, Neesmith, Matherin,
Nembhard.
fucking Toppin. Nembhard's just a smaller version. You know what I mean? Like they all play hard defensively, make shots. They can run. Like they're just tough. Like they're a good, solid team.
Obi.
And I'm not sure that, but I do think the Knicks easily could have beaten them in the series. Like they lost. They should have at least gotten to 7. Not like if they lost in 7, I'd be like, okay, that's an understandable outcome.
Game one.
I think but that's game 1. But like they lost game 1. That's what happened. Like at the end of the day, like they lost game 1.
0-9, 72. It's just like that game was the game that you don't lose. Is the point?
But they did. That's why it's a failure. That's like
that's what I'm saying. When you're talking about why it didn't go 7, it didn't go 7 because you lost that game specifically.
Yeah. But they shouldn't have lost that game. Like even with losing that game, like you still
they shouldn't have lost the series. It all goes in the same band. Same.
I think if they lost in 7, I'd consider the season like a overall success. Like they were 1 game away from the fucking finals. Like I think losing in 6 and kind of going out with a whimper at the end of the day. Like the end of that game, like they just couldn't fight back. Like the Pacers just got it to like 9 or 10 points, and they just like couldn't close the gap, couldn't make it. Even again, like I keep saying, like I guess I keep moving the goalposts, but like, even if at the end of game 6 they had a shot to win or tie, like had like a last second shot.
They were down by 4 after OG shot at halftime, or 6 or something like that.
It was 4. Yeah, they were down by 4 at halftime. But I'm saying at the end of the game, at the end of the fourth quarter, if it came down, they're down 3 with 10 seconds to go with the ball. Like even that, I'd be like, okay, like, but they just kind of went out with a whimper in that fourth quarter, and again, like it all comes back to like.
Third quarter.
Yeah, the third quarter, like we said, like it just started, like they started slow, and then the end of the third into the fourth, they couldn't fucking keep up with them. I mean, like I said, I think they got out coached. I think, the overall Tibbs, like I think he gets guys fired up, and like he's a good motivator. And coming out of timeouts, he's good. But fucking in terms of just like overall managing the rotations, like it just seems like he's fucking lost, and like he got out coached again. Like he's not coaching them like. We're seeing this watching the game on the screen. Like, all right, they got to coach them up on getting back after made baskets. And it just keeps happening and keeps happening. You shouldn't give up 5 layups off of made baskets in the game. That's ridiculous. 1 or 2 is too many.
And the one things I'll say to just pull it off Tibbs for half a second and put some onus on these fucking players is 9 missed free throws and 17 turnovers on the court. You're not winning fucking games in the playoffs. Don't care on the road, especially if you're on the road and you expect to win and you're missing 9 free throws. Especially, I think 5 of those missed 9 free throws, John, were second free throws, and you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Which is the second free throw that misses. That's auto momentum going the other way. Team's feeling good about to steal points on you right now.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man.
Turnover vibe. So when you miss 5 second free throws and you have 17 turnovers, you essentially have 22 turnovers then.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like Scott, they weren't like they still shot like 70% for free throw. It wasn't like
I mean they were banging everything. You had an advantage every time is the point. So it's like they're banging everything, but we're not even checking out on these shots.
Yeah, no, I mean the free throws weren't great, but it wasn't like they were god awful either. Like, because I was looking at the numbers, I think they finished around 70%.
65%.
Was it?
Yeah.
65.
I'm like 99% sure. I looked at it last night. I could be wrong. Maybe I was looking at something else, but I'm like 99%. I'll say.
All right, I'll look into it real quick. But while I'm doing that. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I just think that like Tibbs' coaching style with the rotation.
Yeah, we agree. The rotations were 65% confirmed, 65.4, 17 of 26. You're not winning any games on the road if you're 65% from the free throw line. Sorry, and 28% from three, and 17 turnovers. Fuck out of my game. It's not happening.
Well, and the 17 turnovers, like I feel like those all happened probably before like halfway through the fourth quarter.
I know 6 of them were in the first quarter. 7 of them. Yeah. Remember, we said the comment in the chat. It was like, if we do this times 4, it's 24 turnovers. 6 were in the first quarter. 6 of 17. That's 11 in 3 quarters. That's still not great. I mean, John. Shot.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, I think and again, like the fourth quarter, they weren't turning the ball over because they were just like taking bad shots. Like,
right.
Like, I mean, like I said, like this.
I mean, we're talking Tibbs' rotations, and that speaks to the idea of guys being in rhythm, though. So we can have this conversation still. I'm still with you on the Tibbs thing, and like it all bleeds into the next. In my opinion, it all bleeds into the next. DeLon Wright playing his third game in 2 months, and you think he's gonna bang threes from the fucking wing three in the Eastern Conference Finals on the road, and it's his third game in 3 months? The fuck?
Yeah, no, Carlisle's a great coach, and they're a good team. The Pacers are good. They're good. They're gonna fight. I don't think they're gonna win, but they're gonna fight. I think.
Let's move this conversation there. I like the pivot right there. So let's talk about it. OKC versus Indiana. Immediate thoughts. Immediate kind of feelings about whether or not we've called this Indiana OKC light. We've said that on this podcast before. It was cool.
Yeah.
Being 10 or 11 deep, having a couple of all-star players at the top, but really being a fundamentally sound team through and through, up and down team.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Williams, I will say, like, after
it's funny, after we talk about things happen so crazy.
I think I was wrong. I think he probably is better than Gobert. Just watching those games afterwards, he had like 35. He was playing really good.
29.
Chet, Chet's good. These guys are really tough players. I mean,
talk about that too. Remember, we said if Chet plays well, that team's unbeatable.
Yeah, he's on his way, to becoming like a Gobert. Just needs to get a little stronger. He could be a defensive player of the year candidate, eventually.
Oh, yeah, some of those switch blocks that he gets to with his lateral movement as a 7-footer are freakish.
And he's got crazy long arms. He's got like Andre Karolinko arms dangling to his knees. He's moving around. I mean, I think OKC obviously is a huge favorite for a reason. I think that they have the difference maker. Give me SGA over Halliburton all day, every day. Halliburton has games where he disappears. We've seen it. Obviously, Game 5 in this series, I think he had 8 points.
Yeah.
And the Thunder fans are fucking electric. They really are monster fans, and it's like, I think even when they travel, and they got the super fans going now. They're ready to win, and it just seems like it's their time. It feels like, okay, last year they were the 1 seed and struggled a little bit. They got a little older. SGA got the MVP this year. He's been really fucking efficient and good. And it sucks to say, he's amazing, but I'm not super excited to watch this series. Maybe that's because I'm a little hurt by the Knicks and the ride and this and that. But also I like the Pacers. I can't say the Pacers aren't fun to watch. Pacers are fun to watch.
Pacers are fun to watch. What's the storyline though? What's really the storyline here?
I think it's I think the storyline is one. Both of these teams are not over the luxury tax. Both of these teams are small market, done the right way, not superstar driven, built over time. Went from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3. Now they're both in the final.
Continuity speaks.
And one of them is going to win the title for the first time ever. For their franchise.
Yeah.
There's a lot of storylines, but
that's the best thing you said yet. I think.
What?
That one of these franchises are going to win their first championship. That's something.
I mean, I'm not including the Sonics, obviously.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But I'll be clear, OKC fans have been spoiled. How many MVPs they've seen? They're basically a 50-plus win team. I don't know, 10 times? They had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and then they had the Paul George Carmelo team. This team's been competitive for a while. Yes, they had a couple bad years, but, generally speaking, they're a pretty, spoiled fan base is what I would say. The OKC, but they deserve it. They don't have one sports team there, so they kind of deserve it. So it's and they're humble
guys. The Pacers have had some good teams, too, some finals teams. You know, obviously last year we made the Eastern Conference Finals. You know,
multiple MVPs.
Yeah, I think OKC's just, it's their time. They're ready to go. They're ramped up. And we'll see, you know. As for
shout out to Indiana, though, I mean, they keep taking a step every season.
Oh, of course.
Pritchard building this roster. I mean, they fucking killed it, dude. I mean, this roster has a bunch of guys that could be paid $75 million a year, straight up and down, like $75 to $100 million a year. Seriously, Smith, Nembhard, these guys will get money on the market, especially if they win a championship. These guys are going to get Bruce Brown contracts.
$100 million a year?
Maybe. Nembhard had 6 steals in that game, and he bangs 40% threes. Find that guy.
I feel like the highest paid guy makes like 60 or something like that.
I mean, on the team, yeah, because of their what they're at right now. I'm saying if they go on the open market and go find money.
No, I mean like $60 million a year is like the supermax or something like that. I don't think you could make $100 million a year.
I mean like a total.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah, easily. That's what I mean. Like 75 or 100 million. I guess their total contract, like 20 million per year or like something like that. Yeah.
I mean, Josh Hart makes $20 million a year. The NBA money is ridiculously inflated.
Ridiculous.
I mean, I hate when people are like, "Oh, like this guy makes all like." You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Like anyone who's like, "Oh, these guys overpaid." This guy, it's like nobody knows how the fucking cap works anymore unless you're in the fucking.
And all you OG Anunoby, breadman comments, all that, shove it up your fucking ass because if you didn't watch the game yesterday, we would have lost by 50 if it wasn't for OG.
Nah, OG is fucking amazing. He carried them offensively, defensively. I mean, even in the game 4, like they were losing, he was hitting crazy shots.
Crazy
like
keep you in the game shots.
Like their offense stinks, honestly. When like it's
stagnant, bro. Ugly.
They get no fucking like you see the Pacers get open threes. The Knicks never get open fucking threes.
For them. They're like passing the ball, dishing, swish, alley oops, Obi topping, one-handed jam. We're like working hard for everything.
Yeah, like one pass per possession, just fucking garbage. I mean it's sad, but in terms of the finals, I think like the key matchups, you know, obviously Halliburton and SGA, of course. But then on top of that, I think like the Jalen Williams versus Nesmith, the Chet versus Miles Turner. I just think all these like it's advantage OKC like in almost every matchup.
I think if I was doing matchups, you're probably going to see Dort on Halliburton. Maybe you might see some Dort on some Siakam to throw him a new look because he's a big guy and he's like a smaller but heftier guard, small forward type. So maybe he would try to check Siakam. I'm trying to think of what the matchups would be.
Did you see Halliburton like walk up to get the
the Eastern Conference? What are your thoughts on him? First of all, the video. We'll do that first, and then your thoughts on just like Siakam winning it versus Halliburton when you look at the stats.
I mean, I think Siakam probably played better game in and game out. I think Halliburton had some bigger games, but like even this last game, like we talked about OG carrying. I think there was a point where Siakam
wouldn't miss
fucking half their points, you know, like in the third quarter.
Every open shot he hits, it's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's insane. Every open three, it felt like any time we needed them to just throw us a miss, he would not throw it to us. He was like, nope. Just not happening.
And not to mention just like fucking playing great defense, bouncing around. I think he deserved it. I think he was awesome this series.
He was also breaking our back, like you said, after those made baskets. He'd be the guy up the court about to get a fucking fast break, and he's literally snapping us in half as a feeling of a fan, as a feeling of a team. Like, what's more demoralizing than you just work so hard for a fucking basket that was just as muddy as we talked about, and then they're going the other way and getting it in 3 seconds and saying, fuck you, do it again. Go up the court, use 17 seconds again, use your muddy offense again, go get another fucking bucket, and take 17 seconds, dribble, Towns and Brunson, whatever. They score, Towns falls to the baseline, Doc the other way, they score in 3 seconds. Perfect, now what? Do it again.
Yeah, they cut into the lead just to have it, go right back to what it was 2 seconds later. Yeah, the fast breaks off made baskets was ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Like CYO shit. Like you should never, that's like Jermon's shit. You know?
And not picking up the ball handler. That's also, I said to Christy, I was like, that's basketball 101. You pick up the ball. And like they would just let Halliburton like just like right down the lane.
Yeah. Nah, I know it's bullshit, but what are you gonna do? You move on, fucking keep it moving. I mean, I don't have much more thoughts on the finals. I'm not truly like excited to watch it, to be honest. I'm not like, oh man, this is a juggernaut matchup. I think OKC might wash. Or, we'll see. If the Pacers come out and play hard game one, I think game one is key. If they end up getting like the Timberwolves losing by 20, 30, 40 points in game one, it could just be a short series, another 5-game series. Credit to the Nuggets for taking OKC to 7. I mean,
they retained Adelman.
That series is going to look what?
They retained Adelman.
Yeah, that series is going to look good. Like that effort by them is going to age well.
Yeah, they're a real franchise. Jokic is the best player in basketball. As long as he's around, that team's going to be competitive year in and year out. Anybody that continues to doubt them is an idiot. As long as they have Jamal Murray and Jalen Brunson, Nikola Jokic, they'll be just fine. But we can keep it moving though. I do want to talk about the Stanley Cup a little bit. We have kind of not been talking about NHL too much, but we got a rematch on our hands between the Oilers, and the Panthers. Pretty exciting. Obviously, with the addition of Marchand, that's been huge for them. But in general, this team is now their third Stanley Cup. In 3 years in terms of attendance. They won the one last year. They're going for a back-to-back this year. What are your thoughts? Do you feel like the Oilers stand a chance at all because their defense is a little bit better this year, or do you feel like it's just too much weight? And the addition of Marchand with Kachuk and the rest of these boys, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers are fucking good, man. And, like they all play 2 ways. They're all tough. They're fucking pests. They know how to win. They're a bunch of winners. They added another winner. And I think that Edmonton, has to kind of skate them out the rink, like they have to be fast. Draisaitl and McDavid have to be electric. They have to kind of, like I said, they got to outskate them. They're not going to out-tough them. They're not going to outsmart them. They're not going to, beat them with like hockey skill and knowledge. They're going to have to just be more athletic and more like physical freaks to win the series. In my opinion, like they're going to need McDavid to be McJesus and stand on his head. And it's not like he didn't do that last year. He had some great moments, but like he's going to have to, as great as he already is, he's going to have to be even greater. Like if they're going to win this, they're not going to, like I said. How many
games did it go last year? I wanted to ask.
I want to say 6, if I'm not mistaken.
I want to say 2000.
Yeah, just Google 2024 Stanley Cup.
Let's see. 7 games.
It did go 7 because I think they were up like 3-0, and then Edmonton might have won 3 in a row.
Oilers 4-3 in the best of 7 series. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, well, game by game, I think they were up like 3-0.
Let me look it up. Yeah, I didn't do game by game. Florida 3-0, Florida 4-1, Florida 4-3.
Yeah, they were up 3-0.
3-1 in game 4, back against the wall. Edmonton 5-3. Edmonton 5-1, and then I remember this game. Obviously, game 7 was 2-1. That was a great game. This is real beef. Then this got a little juicier just now. 7 games. They came back from 3-0 last year, almost to win it. Holy shit! Wild
times. But I mean, like I said, we talked about it a little bit last week with the Panthers once they advanced. The Oilers were already up on the Stars, but I just think the Panthers are like dynasty. Like this is a real true blue. Could win 2, 3, 4 out of 5. Like they're gonna win. They're gonna be in it.
Yeah.
And like we were saying with the Nuggets, Toronto getting to 7 against the Panthers is going to age well. Obviously Toronto's had a haunted history.
All their series always.
Yeah, they always go up and lose, and they've obviously had a lot of issues, and they haven't won in fucking forever, since sliced bread literally was invented. So no, I mean I can't go against the Panthers here.
Who are you picking for the series? Let me get your picks for both, for the NBA and the NHL, and then we can move on to the hot corner. Get it.
I'll say Panthers in 7 and OKC in 5.
I'll say OKC in 6, and I'll say Panthers in 6 as well. Panthers in 6, OKC in 6.
Sounds good to me, brother.
All right. Well, everyone sit back, grab yourself a cigar. I'm going to take a hit of this little thing over here. It's the weekend. How you doing? Got the quizzes up. I got everything going. It's funny. The quiz is actually going to pertain to something that we were just talking about, which is cool.
Before we get into it, though, back to our argument. I didn't want to do it 1 week later, but do you get my point now that if you looked at like 250 TD passers, you'd be like, I would definitely know Brett Favre. But then when you do the quiz, you don't know Brett Favre.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying now? Like
the difference between knowledge versus in the moment quiz.
Yeah. You get like trivia. You get trivia brain.
We were on the same page the whole time. The only thing like I was standing on is I think a side point to that, which is that you should still feel obliged if you are that person with confidence to know that in theory, if you were doing the quiz, you would have a very, very high percentage chance of naming that player. Period. End of conversation. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can't know for sure. That's
you wouldn't
all.
know for sure, but I would say that one of Hotz's favorite players in the NBA ever that I've ever talked to him about is Nikola Jokic. Him not naming him.
But you're making my point. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
When you were like, I definitely would get Michael. I'm saying when you were like, I would definitely get Michael.
Right. There's no.
You would say I would definitely get Brett Favre, but you didn't.
There's no definite, but it's confidence, I suppose.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
All right, here we go.
And then I also had a fucking concussion. So
I know that's true. So you weren't even having it. If you could exile Casey to one place, where would it be?
The Korengal Valley in Afghanistan.
Ken Griffey Jr. or Mickey Mantle?
Oh man, give me fucking Mickey Mantle.
Name 3 athletes who never got their shine, but were actually ridiculous at their position. Could be a nickel corner, a pitcher that could also hit, whatever your mind wants to go to.
I mean, the first thing that came to mind, I don't know if I would say ridiculous, but I think someone who is underrated. And I'll do basketball, baseball, and football because you said 3 guys. I'll start with Andre Miller. I think was a very, very good point guard who didn't really get his due.
Shouts to Andre Miller. Nuggets.
I would say for football, someone who was underrated, and they got a lot of acclaim, but I still think didn't quite get their due when they were in their heydays. Anquan Bolden, like young Cardinals, Anquan Bolden.
Good name.
And then I would say for baseball, I would say Brian Giles. I think he played for the Pirates. Never really
professional baseball player. Always wanted him on the Yankees. Actually, I used
never
to play
if you look at his numbers, he was fucking putting in work. And
he had a brother that played in the league as well, right? Another Giles, if I'm not mistaken.
I know there was a Marcus Giles, but I don't know if they were brothers. Not that uncommon of a last name.
I think he did have a brother in the league. I'm going out on a limb, but we'll have to double check that. Let's keep it moving. Favorite mountain you've ever climbed and one word to describe it.
I don't know. I've been in some Appalachian Trail type shit. I don't know the name of the mountain. I guess the coolest kind of thing like that I did was hike on a glacier in Alaska.
Very dope.
I guess one word to describe it would be surreal.
Would you rather work in a rice field in 120-degree heat or in a mine?
I'll take the mine.
All right, let's move to the quiz.
All right.
13 times. So between baseball and basketball specifically, only those 2 sports. Since the year 2000, 13 times a team has come back from down 3-1.
Okay. The Cavs.
Let's see how many you can name. Let's go.
13 times? 13 separate teams, or I have to name the year and the team?
13 separate times. You just have to name the team. The year, we don't have to say. You could just say the team and maybe give me some context.
But 13 different teams. 13 different teams have done it. 3-1. That's hard.
It's a very hard quiz for the record.
I'm better at players than teams, to be honest.
So if you can associate the player and the team, I'll give you the year.
No. I just mean I'm better with this guy had stats than this team won this year.
You said the 16 Cavs, right? You said the 16 Cavs.
Yeah, the Cavs.
The one.
Came back 3-1. The Warriors came back 3-1 against OKC.
Correct. That's 2.
That's 2. I want to say the Cleveland Indians came back 3-1 against someone.
Let me check baseball. No Cleveland Indians.
Well, the Red Sox came back from
3-0. Yep, that's 2004. Yep.
All right, give me the The Cubs?
I'll say this, though. The Cleveland Indians were part of 2 of them.
Yeah, give me the Cubs.
Cubs, yep, that's 1. 2016, that was 1 that Cleveland was a part of. Excellent, that's 4.
Give me the
You're doing great.
Yankees.
I'm shocked right now. Yes, the Yankees have done it, but not after the year 2000 in our quiz. But what?
Okay, they've done it longer ago. Okay. All right, since the year 2000. All right, let me lock in for a second.
So the only time the Yankees were a part of it was the 04 one that you named. I'll also say that.
Okay, all right.
You have 4 so
far. Give me the Royals.
That sounds right. I thought I saw them. I did see them, but they were part of the 85 World Series.
Too far back. Okay, that's okay.
They did it twice. 85 ALCS and 85 World Series. They did it twice. The only team to ever do that.
Wow, that's a good fact.
Crazy fact.
Marlins?
Marlins, yes. That's 5. In 2003, they did it against the Cubs. The Steve Bartman incident.
Give me the Cardinals.
No, that's 2 misses.
Tell me how many baseball and how many basketball.
Cardinals were part of 1. They were never a winner.
Give me. The Cardinals were part of 1,
but they weren't the winner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to name the winner because it's like.
Yeah. Give me the Giants.
Correct.
Against the Cardinals.
Correct. That's correct. Yeah. 2012. That's 6. Wow.
Texas Rangers.
No.
All right. Give me how many baseball and how many basketball?
So you have 6 so far. So how many more? So 1 total in baseball. I'll just tell you: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in baseball. But you have 6 total. You're missing a couple in baseball.
And I have 4 baseball, and I have 2 of 7 basketball.
Yeah, let me double check here. So for basketball, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in basketball. Excuse me. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in basketball. There we go.
Yeah, because there's 6 in baseball.
Yeah. I'm making sure. I was double checking. Sorry.
All right. So I have 2 more baseball and fucking 5 more basketball. Give me the fucking Dallas Mavericks. I'm kind of guessing at this point, if I'm being honest.
I thought they were a part of 1. No.
Give me the fucking Milwaukee Bucks.
Milwaukee Bucks. No.
Give me the fucking.
One of these a couple of these you do know, by the way. I think.
Give me the fucking Boston Celtics.
No.
Give me the.
He did an 81 against.
Give me the Atlanta Hawks.
All Western Conference. How about that?
All Western Conference.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Give me the Los Angeles.
The Cavs one that you named.
Give me the Los Angeles Lakers.
No. They were a part of 1 of them.
Give me the Houston Rockets.
Yes. I think they were a part of 1. Yeah, they did it. 2015 against the Clippers. Doc Rivers became the first coach to blow multiple 3-1 leads while also doing it with the Magic in 2003. 2015, Houston Rockets beat the Clippers.
All right, and then in 2003...
Who was the team that beat them? That he blew. I just gave you a really good clue there, actually. That was cool. I didn't realize I did that.
But you said it was all Western Conference left. So it's the Magic.
So that's the last one. Sorry, that's the last one. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. I did say that. This is the last Eastern Conference one.
The last Eastern Conference one, the 03, the Magic blew.
It was the first. It was in the first round too.
A 3-1 in the first round. Dwight Howard, Magic. No, Dwight Howard wasn't drafted yet in 03.
Yeah, no. Not Dwight Howard, but Magic. Yeah, who was
Magic in 03 blew a 3-1 lead to the. God, this is hard. The Bulls? No, not the Bulls. All right, I'm just gonna start. Pistons. Yeah, that's the correct. Pistons. I remember that now.
So Eastern Conference is truly done now. That one and the Cavs are the only 2. Apologies.
Casey, stop texting me. I don't want your fucking answers. He gave me 2. He gave me Thunder and Spurs, so fucking I can't take credit, but that gets me to 10.
I don't
remember the Thunder. Maybe he's giving me wrong answers. I don't know.
Yeah, he's giving you wrong answers. It might be deliberate. Neither of those.
Thunder's wrong, and then he said Spurs for the other one.
Wrong also. Yeah. Neither have come back from a 3-1 deficit.
Okay, so he just gave me 2 wrong answers. Thanks, Casey. At least I called him out first. Give me the fucking Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, that's one. 2006 against the Lakers. With this Lakers comeback in 1970, this was the first time in NBA history where two franchises have overcome a 3-1 deficit
Against each other?
Against each other, yep. We're just about to
All
say
right, and then I have two more left.
The Suns won that series against the Lakers, 2006.
I have two more left total. They're both baseball?
I think you're missing a couple basketball. I think you're missing 2 basketball and 2 baseball. I
have 11. No, guess is right.
Two of these you definitely haven't said yet. I don't think.
Okay, and both baseball.
No, two in basketball. I still see here that haven't been said.
All right, because I feel
they're
like
they're both the most recent ones. That's how I know you haven't said them for real. And then the other one, and then in baseball, let me see what you're missing. You said the Cubs over the Indians. You're missing this one. It looks like you said the Red Sox. Well, you said the Red Sox in 04. There's a clue.
Yeah.
Oh, you said the
Red
Red Sox.
But what I was saying that
7. No, you did over the Indians. You did say that. Marlins.
Well, that's what I asked before. I was like, are these all unique teams, or is it just?
Yeah, they're all
unique. You're saying you're counting the Red Sox.
Just total playoffs. Yeah.
No, I'm saying, but you're counting the Red Sox twice, you're saying.
Correct, yes.
Okay, what I asked at the beginning, I was trying to see if it was unique.
Oh, got it.
Just
I gave you both there. I think you said Indians anyway, and then you said Red Sox afterwards. So I was like, all right, fine. That's fine.
I thought I was saying like franchises.
It was the Red Sox that did it to the Indians, so it was fine anyway. It didn't matter.
Okay.
It was a moot point. So you said the Marlins, the Red Sox twice. You're missing one right here. I'm staring at it. You haven't said this one. And then you said the Cubs. And then you're missing one. So you're missing 2 from both. Yep, 2 from both. 4 total.
But have I said the franchise already, just not the year or whatever?
No.
Okay, so these are 4 franchises I haven't said
all
yet.
Fresh, yeah. One clue, in basketball, it's the same franchise. But you haven't said it.
Oh, so it's 2, but it's the same team.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Let me think for a second then.
Yeah, and I gave you a huge clue by saying it's most recent.
Yeah. Clippers?
They were the ones that got beat in one of them. Clue.
So the Clippers got beat twice? Because I said one already that beat the Clippers.
Yeah, and the Rockets in the 15. Yeah, it happened to them. Yeah.
So the Clippers most recently blew a 3-1 lead against the... God. I'm about to just start naming Western Conference teams because I don't know it. I said the Mavericks already.
I can't even believe you didn't say them.
The Jazz? The Timberwolves?
The Jazz, no. The Jazz were the team that blew it. Also, it was the other team that blew it. For the 2,
the Jazz, the Timberwolves, the Nuggets.
That's it. There it is.
I thought I said the Nuggets already. That's how I fucked
Yeah, it was Denver. Right. Denver, Western Conference first round 2020.
Oh,
Denver, Western Conference semifinals, same year, 2020.
I kind of knew that because I thought I said the Nuggets. All right, whatever. That's and then there's two baseball unique franchises.
Unique franchises, correct.
All right. Give me the motherfucking Cincinnati Reds, the Milwaukee Brewers, the fucking St. Louis Cardinals. I already said. The Cubs. I already said. The Astros.
St. Louis Cardinals were the team that got beat.
The Astros.
No.
The St. Louis Cardinals are the one who got beat. The Mets, the Braves, the Phillies, the Expos, the Marlins, the Washington Nationals.
Oh.
The Dodgers, the Rockies.
Yeah, Dodgers are one team that did it, but they didn't beat the St. Louis Cardinals. They beat the Atlanta Braves in 2020.
The Dodgers, the Rockies, the Giants. I already said.
The Giants. Yes, that's the other team. Did you say?
Oh, that? I said the Giants already.
Okay. Well, they did it in 2012 against St. Louis. So those are the last 2. Pretty good. You did pretty good.
Yeah, no, I remember I said the Giants when you said it was against the Cardinals. I said the Giants. Yeah. I said the Giants.
Oh, yeah. I didn't really associate that guess that way.
And I thought I said the Nuggets. That's why I was like, I have all these left.
Nuggets you didn't say for sure. I was staring for it.
Yeah, I thought.
Anyway, you did really good. I'll be clear. That's a tough-ass quiz. All right.
I'm bad. I'm bad. Like, even when I play trivia, like when I watch, when they're like, oh, this team beat this team on their run to the finals. Like, I'm not good at that. I'm good at like this player averaged 20 points for this team.
You have to get the context. You have to like remember what happened. Like the OKC Warriors. Like you remember Steph's shot or like whatever. You have to like
Yeah,
whatever.
no, I like look at stats a lot. So like I remember player numbers better than like team achievements.
These are going to be hard. These two quizzes then are going to be the antithesis of what you like. This other one's not easy either. But
no, I mean I should practice these. I should get better at these. So I'm happy.
These are good.
These
are good. All right, here's the second quiz. It's the NHL quiz. So NHL teams to win.
God.
NHL teams. It's just franchises. Some of these franchises have done it multiple times. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. It's hard to do like the certain years. Yeah.
No years involved here. That's way impossible.
Yeah. Get that out of it. Yeah. Just
years. That's a plus. We'll say. But I'm going to give you strict 3 guesses though, because you're guessing franchises and you have to kind of think about the context.
Okay.
This goes all the way back to like some of these go back to like the 50s, the 60s. It's going to be difficult. NHL teams to win back-to-back Stanley Cups. There's 8 teams that have done it.
Yeah, I think I could. Actually, I think I'll do okay here. The Oilers.
The Oilers did it twice, correct?
The Islanders.
And if you can name the year, that's impressive.
I would say the Oilers did it like 85, 86, 87, 88.
Yeah, 84, 85, and 87, 88. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give me the Islanders.
The Islanders.
They went 79, 80, 81, 82.
Like, so close. 80 to 83 instead. So, like, 79 into 80, yeah, 80 into 81, 81 into 82, and then 82 into 83, I believe.
Yeah, so that's basically spot on.
Yeah.
Give me the Colorado Avalanche.
No. Casey said
really?
the same.
In the late 90s?
No, they never won.
Oh, wow. I thought they won 2 in a row in the late 90s. Okay, all right. I'll go back to the drawing board. Okay, I know those. I think like, and this goes all the way back to the beginning of the NHL, you're saying?
Correct, yeah. This goes back to like olden
times. Give me the Montreal Canadiens.
There you go. Very smart. Yes.
With Maurice Richard, I would say like the 60s.
They have a 2 straight, a 5 straight, a 2 straight, a 2 straight, and a 4 straight. Those are all different. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Give me
more
Boston Bruins.
I didn't see them. No, that's 2. Okay. That's off. So Colorado and Boston. You got 1 guess left.
All right. But I have 3 so far.
So you said so far. You said Montreal.
Yeah, I said Montreal.
You said the New York Islanders. And you said the Oilers.
All right, give me
some recent. Maybe a couple.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking.
Recent ones, and there's.
I'm thinking. I have a couple, but I'm out of guesses. I fucking fire off some bad guesses early. Give me the motherfucking. Shit! I'm between a couple right now. I can't believe the Avalanche was fucking wrong. Give me. All right, hang on. Sorry, I have 2 guesses I'm deciding between.
Of my boys, I would say Casey and you know the most about hockey, and you both said the Avalanche.
I would say I'm between 2. Fuck it. Devils.
I didn't see them.
God damn it! All right, hang on. I have one more guess before you give. What the fuck? Who am I thinking?
You have to run the table then if you're gonna do this.
The Kings, the Penguins, the Stars.
All right, so let me just start running it down here. So the Red Wings.
Red Wings,
number 2, obviously. They did it in 97, 98. So that was one of the ones that maybe you could have got. And then they did it in the 30s and the 50s. The next one on the list is the Toronto Maple Leafs. They did it in the 30s.
That was like fucking 500 years ago.
Yes, yeah, they had 2 3-peats, actually. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, in like the 50s or something.
The Flyers did it randomly, 74 and 75.
The Broad Street Bullies. Yeah, I should have got that.
Pittsburgh Penguins, you said in that whole jambalaya just now, they did it 91, 92, and 2016 to 2017 they won.
Yeah, I knew the Penguins. I said them after the Devils. No,
I'll give you one last guess. The last one on this list is a recent one. You should be able to get it.
The last one on this list is the fucking Lightning.
Yeah,
I should have got that too. All right, I'm gonna give myself the Penguins.
Honestly, not bad. The other one is very hard. The 3-1 deficit, that's not easy at all.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. Again, it's hard.
I think you firm guessed, I would say 7 of them legitimately out of the 13. Like you actually got like the context. Otherwise,
no. At the end, I started just naming teams by divisions. I just
all right. Let's go back to the questions. If you could exile Casey to one place, where would it be? Where did you say?
The Kurangol Valley in Afghanistan. It's like the most like gunfights every single day. Like it's the fucking worst place in the world. I watched a documentary called Restrepo. when I was in college. It was a very good
He's
documentary.
on the documentary in the background, waving his hands.
Yeah. They were like building their fucking like fort, and in the middle of building it, they just had to stop because they'd be like, pop, 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 and then they had to get everyone started shooting, and fucking literally the shooting would stop, and they'd start building their fucking fort again, and then they'd start shooting. It was crazy.
And they can't report because it's too loud because there's so much gunfire. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, like they were like building their little fucking shelter or whatever, and they'd be fucking hammering nails and drilling screws, and then boom, 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 they all start fucking shooting, and then fucking an hour later they'd be like, okay, we don't hear any shooting, and then they'd start building, and then another hour, and then fucking I guess the Afghani soldiers or whatever would fucking get more ammo and start shooting again. It was crazy.
Oh god.
But this question stems because fucking Zach said he was going to exile him to Auckland, New Zealand, which is fucking has 1.7 million people who choose to live there, fucking willingly.
Yeah, we
so
might
I
go
don't
there.
know what.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
excited.
like home of city kickboxing, like one of the best UFC camps in the world. It's really just like probably the best place
Like,
in
great
New
place.
Zealand.
It's like really like it sounds like it's really a great place.
It's like the New York City of fucking New Zealand. It's huge. That's more people in it than like.
Kind of overarching compliment to it. It would have just been hilarious.
It's got like 3 times as many people as Pittsburgh.
They're like warm people there. They're like good people.
Yeah, there's a lot of Maori.
Oh my god.
I know my geography pretty good. I would say I know geography better than anyone else in our group chat.
Yeah.
I know all the state capitals. Give me a state capital quiz.
We did that one. That's in our archives for sure. We did that, and we
I
did
know all of them.
Name
a state right now. I'll give you the fucking state capital.
Wyoming.
Cheyenne.
Ken Griffey Jr. or Mickey Mantle?
Mickey Mantle. I went with the switch hitter. That's what I.
Yeah,
difference for me.
That's interesting. I didn't know where you were going with that. I'll go with the base runner. I'll take Ken Griffey. I'll take the aura.
I think Mickey Mantle ran the bases pretty fucking good.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He was fast as fuck. He was a good outfielder.
I mean, he's a center fielder, I would say. Yeah, he better be. Name 3 athletes who never got their shine, but were actually ridiculous at their position. Could be a nickel corner, a pitcher who could also hit, whatever.
Yeah, no, I like Andre Miller. I feel like if you look up like all-time assists, like he's very high. You know, he wasn't like a big shooter, but he always. Whenever I watched him play, he was hooping.
Cold. He was cold. And him and Antonio
hooping.
McDyess on those Nuggets teams were fire. Like, it's just that team was cool. He had that, and he also was on that Melo team with J.R. Smith. You know, that Nuggets team with the Powder Blues.
I remember him on the Sixers hooping
Sixers,
all the time.
Yeah, he was on a couple different teams, bro. Like he
played on lots of teams for sure.
Yeah. True veteran of the league. You know what I mean? Like Mike Conley before his time type of guy. Like just like good player.
He led the NBA in assists in 01-02.
Yeah.
10.9 assists per game, career. And, this was a lot of down years at the end.
Cold from 15 feet. Money in the bank, 15 feet. You couldn't leave him. 15 feet, it's like.
I mean, 2001, 2002, he was 16.5 and 10.9 assists. Like, that's a fucking big-time year,
That's the same stats that Steve Nash won MVP with, I'm pretty sure.
Probably close to it.
I'm serious. I'll put it up.
Yeah.
Like 04, whatever that fucking year was. He stole it from Shaq, 05. It's the same stat.
Yeah. No, but Andre Miller was cool.
40-90 is the only other part of that conversation, John.
And then I remember he played on fucking like 10 teams, but and then Anquan Bolden, I just think because he played next to Larry Fitzgerald for a long time, like didn't quite get the due he deserved because.
And he was on that Ravens team that went to the Super Bowl, right? That won. He was.
He won the Super Bowl with the Ravens. Yeah. And he went to the Super Bowl with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Against the Steelers.
Right. It's Antonio Holmes. That's right.
Yeah. But he just I remember hearing he's the quickest to 400 receptions, to 500 receptions, to 600 receptions. Like
big body receiver, like bulky, like what Justin Blackmon should have been possibly.
Yeah. Like more touchdown catches in his career than Julio Jones, 13,000 yards. I know Julio didn't get a lot of touchdowns. 13, almost 14,000 yards.
Julio lifers don't want to have a touchdown conversation with you. They want to have a yards conversation and a catches conversation.
14,000 yards almost, over 1,000 catches, 1,076 catches. Only a 3-time Pro Bowler, which is crazy to me.
Up out here. The wide receiver position. I mean, when you got guys like Marv Harrison, you're playing the same era as whatever. Like,
yeah. But I mean, 1,075 catches for 1,775 yards and 82 touchdowns is a hell of a
in an era they're barely throwing you got accolades for throwing 4,000 yards a year. Like
he played. He started in 2003.
Yeah, guys are playing like they used to. Like 4,400 yards now is like the standard, I would say.
Florida State legend.
Good name. And who's the baseball name you said? Who'd you say? You said the guy in the Pirates, Giles.
Brian Giles.
Great name.
Yeah, Brian Giles. Let me look up his career year real quick, but he was a fucking stud. This is when I loved baseball too. I was like, another good name is Jason Kendall from those Pirate teams.
Yeah, good name.
But Brian Giles from 99 to 2002 was like 39 homers, 115 RBIs, 35 homers, 123 RBIs, 37 homers, 95 RBIs, 38 homers, 103 RBIs.
Beast.
He was hitting 315, 309, and 298. On base percentage over 400 every year.
Yeah. By the way, Marcus Giles is his brother. That is Brian.
Is his brother? I remember Marcus Giles. He played for the Braves.
There's like a whole article here. I'm going to send you this article.
He played for the Braves. Marcus Giles. I remember him. And he was over 1,000 OPS all 4 of those years. Except for 1 year, he was .994. So just ridiculous numbers.
Pretty fire. Yeah. My next question: favorite mountain you've ever climbed? One word to describe it. You said climbing a glacier in Alaska, and you called it surreal.
Yeah, surreal. Actually, maybe I could fucking do it. Yeah, I have it hanging on my wall right here. You can see the helicopter, the glacier,
wow.
Me, my dad, and my sister on the glacier. This is an Alaskan cruise, like pictures from.
Very dope. Love that.
So that was cool.
Yeah, I like that. Would you rather work in a rice field in 120-degree heat or a mine? Well, I guess John's frozen. As soon as John moves his computer, because it's a 1994 Dell, it freezes his camera over.
What happened?
You froze for like a minute there when you moved.
You froze too, bro. You've been freezing, bro.
The world only saw you frozen, though.
What?
The world only saw you frozen there, not me.
Nah, I don't know, bro. We'll fucking watch it back. But no, what I was saying was the coal miner has a little bit of aura to it. Like, fucking like when you come out
guys or enslaved, you're saying, versus like working in a coal mine, you have a little bit more.
I just think when you come out of the coal, you're all black. Like, I recently saw like a dad at his kid's game, like came straight from the coal mine and was fucking had the black.
I'm on TikTok in slow motion coming out of the mine with all his shit on him with like some kind of, and they say that
fucking Derek like fucking. Yeah, I could fucking take my little 4-pound sledge with me to the coal mine. Fucking beat some.
I don't know. I'm kind of claustrophobic. Give me the rice field. I don't know.
Fucking put me in the sand mines with Francis Ngannou in Cameroon.
I feel like I'd rather the fields get swole. Fuck it. You get swole doing either.
Yeah. I already am fucking swole.
Well, we can do let's do a fucking what's it called? We haven't done one in a while.
A victory formation?
Formation here.
You know what I wanted to talk about?
What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about the steroid bats and the Yankees being fucking dismantled by the Dodgers? You want to talk about that?
Nah, the Mets smoked the Dodgers, though. Fucking, I want to talk about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. We're fucking weeks behind. But I just think it's crazy, like, that it's like you can't say anything without it being like, oh, it's racist or it's this or it's that. It's like, dude, they fucking are rivals. They don't like each other. Who cares? Like,
did you see the whole narrative for the record?
Did you see the whole Ryan Clark, Robert Griffin III bullshit? Is that the most ridiculous fucking? Is Ryan Clark? He just like talks slow to appear smart, but it's like really just saying the dumbest, most ridiculous take maybe I've ever heard. Is that like? Because he married a white wife, he doesn't understand what it's like, and it's like, well, Ryan Clark has a kid with a white woman, and it's just like
the whole thing is just embarrassing.
It's just like makes no sense, and it's like
embarrassing for
all RG3 said is that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. I think she does, and I think Caitlin Clark probably hates Angel Reese. It's like, I don't know. And then people are like, why does
professional NFL players commenting on WNBA bullshit political wise. Why aren't they just rising above it and being like, listen, I'm not here for any of this race stuff. I love Angel Reese. I love Caitlin Clark. I think they're both great for the game. Next.
It's just, and it's weird because it's just like,
buying into this.
It was all like over like a borderline hard foul. It looked like a normal foul.
It wasn't even that bad. It was a tough foul. It's basketball.
Yeah. And last year, Caitlin Clark got fouled way harder, got pushed in the back, and Angel Reese got up and clapped. And that girl pushed her in the back.
Posting on Instagram the video of her, like she like prolongs this issue. Like Caitlin's on the court about it. I don't see Caitlin posting about any of this stuff online. I literally only see.
And then she gets heat for people being like, "Why doesn't Caitlin Clark say like more about her fans being this and that?" It's like, dude, what's she gonna say? Like, my fans are bad? Like, what do you want?
Also, take control. What does that even mean? Her fans. It's like she's made the decision of who roots for her. Even this notion, like she's in perpetuity with her fans. Like they're in coordination. Fuck, like the whole thing is just like leave the girls alone. Like,
and guess what? Is she more popular because she's white? Of course. Fucking, it's if there was a black hockey player,
daggers in your mouth.
If there was a black hockey player doing fucking work, they'd be more popular because it's something different we haven't seen. And there's been many great white players in the WNBA. But yeah, what I agree with you is that like she just does stuff we haven't seen women do before, and the way she shoots off the dribble from like far away.
Well, she shoots better than Mikal Bridges. Put her on the Knicks. I would take her over Mikal Bridges right now. Put Caitlin Clark on the Knicks right now over Mikal Bridges. I'm dead.
Even like her shooting like form, like she shoots like a dude. Like a lot of women you see come from like lower. You know what I mean? And it's like, she's like
over.
But again, and it's comparable to like when Jeremy Lin, like if Jeremy Lin was a black dude, there would be no Lin sanity if Jeremy Lin was just a black guy going for 25 and 10 out of nowhere. It happens every year. Like we get it. Like of course race plays a factor in her popularity, but it's not like it plays a small factor in it. It's
been an issue with the WNBA for years. Is that the WNBA media is some of the worst toxic media in all of media. And they focus on these political things to try to drive the sport's popularity, thinking that this is the way that you're going to move the sport forward. And they don't just grab onto the good stuff about the game. The game is growing immensely because of certain things. One of those things being a perennial talent like Caitlin Clark. One of those things being the idea of branding basketball players like Angel Reese. The NBA is the same way. They brand the players. The players drive the media. They drive the revenue. It's not a team functioned league like the NFL where it's parity based and everyone's teams and who they root for is where it dominates. Who you go in the NBA and WNBA. So to wrap your arms around your stars and stop creating this race baiting. It's so ridiculous.
I think it's so much like I think the only difference between it and Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, obviously, not in terms of like how skilled they are, how popular, like
at that time,
but there was no social media,
right?
You know, there was no like everyone had a fucking opinion that everyone else had to listen to. Yep. You know, it was like okay, these guys but it's the same kind of thing like the Great White Hype. You know, like. But they were also both kind of heroes, and I do think this is like a clear kind of hero-villain situation. And I think Angel Reese, when she wins, she's down to be the villain. LSU waving her bye-bye on the court before she even celebrates with her teammates. Like, she was down to be the villain when she wins, but when she loses, she doesn't want to be the villain no more. She wants to get the sympathy. Like, you know, and it's like sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. You can't switch up your role. You're the heel. You're not the baby face. You have to play your role. Maya, stop trying.
I also just think that even like I don't think neither has to be a heel or a babyface. It's kind of like a Halliburton thing. It's like everyone kind of hates Halliburton because the way he wags his tongue. But if you don't respect that dude and at least respect the fact that he gets it done and he's led his team to the finals and he leads his team, whatever, like there is some level of respect he's deserved based on the play that he's given on the court. Same with Siakam or anybody else that deserves it when they've earned it. No different. So it's like Angel is like trying to like lean into this rivalry by reposting on Instagram. Caitlin kind of leans into it a little bit, I think, too, in her own way. But I do think
Caitlin Clark hates Angel Reese. She tries to play the good girl too. She hates her. She can't stand her. She acts like, oh, I respect Angel. Everyone needs to be nice to Angel. But in her heart of hearts, you could tell on the court, like she hates her. And she wants her to fail. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fucking rivalry in sports. It's good for the sport.
It's great for the sport. And there's only a certain amount of white girls in the league that ball. So it's not like Caitlin's going to be really hating too many white girls in the league. Maybe Paige Buchers one day. But most of the girls that ball out that would be her contemporaries are going to be black. So we're going to make it a race bait thing every fucking time Caitlin has a
Brittany Griner even was saying, like, fucking white girl.
Griner is fucking, you know? I think Sabrina Ionescu was the only other white girl, baby. There you go. There's another one. I mean, it's just it's most of the league is dominated by
white. It's not like the NBA level of like white and black where it's like all the white guys are European.
30, I'd say like 75-25 probably. Look at Maya.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like obviously Kelsey Plum and Cunningham on the Fever also. There's like multiple white starters usually on teams. Like not like the NBA, that's all I'm saying. Like there's more white girls who can
like 90-10, 95-5. Yeah, it's not like Tyler Cole is the only white guy within the whole series of Indiana versus
TJ McConnell, like that's just because he plays for Indiana.
They're all the what's it called? The
Do you have a victory formation you want to shout out before we get out of here? I got a fucking.
No, I was just gonna say shout out to the Yankees for being exactly what we thought they were, which is not in the same level as the Dodgers. Shout out, and
I mean, but then they beat the Mets, and the Mets beat the Dodgers. It's baseball. It's fucking June 1st baseball. Like when fucking
exactly what happened.
Talking about Juan Soto not running out a fucking ground ball in the 4th inning with 2 out and nobody on.
Yeah,
Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
I don't want to fucking hear it, dude.
He's in the first half of his 10-year career with the Mets. He'll be just fine. When he has a big playoffs for you guys, it'll be all over. But anyway,
he's gotten on base at least twice the last 3 days. I know he had a walk and a hit by pitch today.
Yeah, he had that nice double and drove Lindor in. I think I saw it. But anyway, like the fucking Yankees, dude. As soon as the lights turn on for the Dodgers, you see what happens. That's more my point. When they give a fuck.
Well, maybe there might be a mental block there because the World Series.
But anyway, that's really what my victim information was. Shout out to the Knicks for an excellent season. If they look to replace Tibbs, look for him to become part of the president. In the fucking.
I wanted to buy an OG Anunoby jersey with the fucking winnings from the.
They maybe made the finals. It would have been worth it. I caught this lid. It's actually pretty fire. I'm still gonna rock it.
I'm an OG like Anunoby.
Ooh, I'm an OG like Anunoby. We need lines like that. Yeah, Benny, where we at, bro?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little easy. It's a little low-hanging fruit, but still.
He probably just watched me say that. He's like, this is why you don't rap.
Yeah, it's a little low-hanging fruit, but I like it.
Shouts out to the team, but we'll be back next year. I'm sure the Knicks will be back. The East is not looking too scary right now. So
fire Tibbs, yes or no, to close the show. Fire Tibbs, yes or no, to close the show. Do you fire Tom Thibodeau?
If there's a legitimate replacement, yes. If there isn't a
Dan Hurley says, I'll coach the Knicks if you fire Tom Thibodeau.
On down, baby. Give me all that moxie and more.
Let's go. All right, bro. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. Talk to you soon.
Peace.
Sixers. Get out of here.
Lock out.